I have to be honest, when I first looked at our sources for today, I thought there might be a mistake. We're doing a deep dive on the NTI E-4WNSC-50.
It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it?
It really doesn't. And the full name is the 4-wire non-sensing cable.
Mm.
I mean, usually we're talking about smart tech, cutting-edge sensors,
Mm-hmm.
things that do stuff. Why are we focusing on a cable that, explicitly says it doesn't sense anything?
That is the paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's actually why this piece of engineering is so fascinating. In critical infrastructure, think data centers, server rooms, everyone's focus is on the sensors.
Right.
But this non-sensing cable, this is the backbone. It's the spine holding the whole nervous system together.
Okay, so the mission today is to figure out why you need a so-called dumb cable in a very smart system.
That's it, exactly. It's
Yeah.
all about understanding where you don't need to collect data and how that choice actually protects the integrity of the places where you absolutely do.
All right, before we get too philosophical, let's just look at the thing itself. I'm seeing the 50-foot version here, and it lists for around $112. That feels, well, it feels steep for just wire.
Well, if you treated it like a regular extension cord you pick up at a big box store, you'd be in a lot of trouble pretty fast. The price really comes down to the build quality.
Okay.
Inside, you've got these 22 AWG stranded bare copper conductors.
Break that down for me. Why does 22 AWG matter so much here?
It's all about signal integrity. In a leak detection system, you're not just sending power, you're sending, data. A thin or cheap wire can degrade that signal over a 50-foot run.
Oh, okay.
This specific gauge of pure copper ensures the brain of the system gets a clear, crisp message from the sensors way at the other end.
So it's a guarantee the message gets through. I also saw plenum-grade PVC for the jacket and the insulation. I see that word plenum a lot, but I've never really unpacked what it means for a cable.
It's a critical fire safety standard. The plenum is that space, above the drop ceilings where air for the building's HVAC circulates.
Right, yeah.
If a fire starts up there, a standard plastic cable will melt and release these incredibly toxic fumes, and the HVAC system will pump them into every single room. Plenum grade means this cable is chemically designed to resist burning and, more importantly, not turn into a toxic smoke bomb.
That makes a lot of sense why you can't just swap it out for something generic.
Exactly. And then you have the connectors. These are M12 4-pin connectors.
I did notice those. They look way more industrial than, like, my laptop charger.
They're heavy duty. Think about a USB plug. You bump it, it just falls out. In an industrial setting with vibrations and people working, you can't have cables slipping out.
Sure.
M12 connectors, they physically screw in and lock. They are built to survive in pretty harsh environments.
And speaking of that, the spec sheet says it operates from 14 up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Which covers everything from a freezing cold server aisle to, say, a sweltering boiler room. It's built to be resilient.
So we have a tough, fire-safe locking cable. But let's go back to the non-sensing part. Where does this actually go? Why not just use the sensing cable everywhere?
Okay, imagine you run a large facility. You have a server room on the north side and maybe a battery backup room on the south side. You absolutely need leak detection in both of those rooms. Water there is a catastrophe.
Right, you need eyes on the prize in those high-risk zones.
But between them, you have, let's say, a 50-foot concrete hallway. No pipes, no water sources at all. It's a safe zone.
So you wouldn't want to run expensive water-sensing cable across a totally dry hallway where you know a leak is impossible.
Exactly. That sensing cable is pricey per foot.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste it where there's zero risk. So you use this, the E-4WNSC-50. It just bridges the gap. It connects the sensors in one room to the sensors in the other, but it does it efficiently.
It's like a highway connecting two cities. You don't need exit ramps in the middle of a desert.
That's a perfect analogy. And it's designed to integrate with their specific gear, the EALDS sensors and the liquid location cables, to make one continuous system that just skips over the safe zones.
And we're looking at the 50-foot version, but I see they make these from 10 feet all the way up to 1,000 feet.
Yep, it's totally modular. You fit the bridge to the size of the gap you need to cross.
It's funny, we started this talking about a non-sensing cable as if it was the boring part. But when you look at the specs, the copper, the plenum rating, those locking connectors, it feels like the entire system relies on this just as much as the actual sensors.
I'd argue it relies on it even more. If a single sensor fails, you lose one little spot of data. If this bridge cable fails,
You lose the connection to the entire rest of the chain.
the whole thing goes dark.
That's the thought I want to leave everyone with. In a world of smart everything, we tend to overlook the passive, the dumb infrastructure. But is the smartest system in the world really only as reliable as its dumbest cable?
A chain is only as strong as its quietest link.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll catch you on the next one.